Welcome to part 3 of our interview with French Stewart. All right, so yeah, you get off Third Rock and you get off the Third Rock and Third Rock from the Sun, and you're this kind of success, right? And you suddenly got Jimmy Fallon impersonating you.
Right.
How does that make you feel? Like what?
I was sitting at John Palmer's house on a poker night.
You're right.
When that came up, and it was just happening in real time, and I just remember the room got kind of quiet, and then we all just started laughing because it was just surreal. And then my mother called me, and she was like, "Well, that boy is making fun of you," and I'm like, "Oh no, I'm into it."
No, you know what? Somebody impersonate you on Saturday Night Live. You kind of have arrived as far as I'm concerned.
That's where you are.
Yeah, I loved it, but that was the thing is it was kind of good for me too because right after Third Rock, I had to go into TV jail.
What?
Well, it's like you do I Urkeled it too hard.
Oh, I see.
I Gilliganed it, and so then it was like you're not playing doctors anymore. You're not playing lawyers. You're gonna do a string of kind of low rent children. You're gonna do the sequel to every children's movie that the original cast member will have nothing to do with, and that's you now.
Yeah.
And I'm pragmatic, so I'm okay.
Well, I gotta work.
I gotta work. Yeah, because I always feel I just take the best job in front of me. But it's just you get typed into a thing where it's nah, you were too specific, and so now.
Oh, because people would talk about you at the water coolers in the morning. People would have what did French do on Third Rock last night?
Right, we had done Oprah. I'd go do Letterman, but it was all really associated with that. Mm-hmm. And so once that was gone, it's okay, now you're starting over, and you can either be, I had asked an agent, well, what can I expect? And he said, well, if you want to be in a big movie or thing, you can be sort of a small level weirdo. And if you want to be in a small thing, you can be a lead weirdo. And if you want to do stage, you can be King Lear.
Oh, well, okay.
Which turned out to be pretty much true.
Well,
it was just, they were this is what it is. And I think for the next 10 years, I had to fight my way back into doing a drama again. The funny thing was that once I got to the point where I could do dramas, there were two very specific audition situations for me. One, if I was in a comedy, I was going to be befuddled Vice Principal Johnson.
Right.
And then if I was in a drama, I was going to be a pedophile. But it's the same sweater vest either way. Right. On the audition, that's the same sweater vest.
Well, how did that affect you mentally as far as going into auditions and stuff?
It bothered me because I wanted more. I wanted to be able to do. I felt like I had things that I could do that people weren't allowing me to even show them that I could do.
Right.
But at the same time, I was grateful because I had a house and I didn't want to complain about having had this great run.
Right.
So It's a mixed bag in a way. But I'm happy with how it's gone. I honestly don't think I could have taken much more than I got.
Right.
I really don't. I lead a gentle, quiet life with my family, and I like doing shows, and I like doing TV, and I like doing a movie. And I think that beyond that, I don't know if I can.
I think we can agree that a successful life is waking up in the morning, going to bed at night, and doing exactly what you love to do in the middle of those two things.
So really, you just kind of took time to shed that Third Rock image, and then because even if you do another sitcom, you're not doing that character anymore. You're trying to do a different character.
Right.
So
it was just time that kind of
yeah,
healed that and
it was really more about getting in the door and being able to do it. And there were times where
You're very lucky because not a lot of people like Gilligan. Yeah. Gilligan was Gilligan forever.
Forever.
You could never do anything else.
No, I wrestled my way back in, but there was a good period of time where I would go in and I might have an audition for a drama, and they'd be like, "Wow, that was really good." And then later on, they would say, "Well, we couldn't give it to you." And then my manager would ask why, and they'd say, "Well, he's just so specifically him that we think they're just going to see his face, and it's just going to be a flashback, and that's all it is," which is true. It was, until I kind of aged enough, and my body deteriorated enough to where I didn't look like I used to be. Yeah, I win.
Well, you hit on sequels a little bit, and that's... I actually liked Inspector Gadget 2 more.
Yeah,
I did. It was a huge part of my childhood. I actually really did love it. I wore that DVD out because I just watched it all the time. And then I watched the first one. I was like, give me back the second one.
It's interesting.
I like that French.
It's that people know me more from that now. There are certain people that know you from certain things, and it's all age dependent. But I get a lot of that. I have a lot of joy for that. That was really the most fun you could have. We were just in Australia making an Inspector Gadget movie for Disney. It's delightful. And it's also nice because I have a daughter who, she can watch these things now, and
that means a lot, doesn't it?
It really does. And I can show her these things. And all the ones that I thought were so stupid, she loves them.
Right.
And, you're like, oh, okay, well, here's a dumb one. And she's like, I love it.
Right.
And it brightens you.
Seeing it through her eyes must make it really special.
It's really lovely.
Yeah.
But then you think, oh no, she's going to get older, and then she's going to see Leaving Las Vegas, where I'm a pervy businessman. And what's that going to do?
Well, you know what it's going to do. She's going to love you even more, French.
I have a good relationship with her. All I have to do is stay out of her way and sort of point her in different directions and leave her be. Just don't mess it up. I think.
Yeah, well, and that's hard to do as a parent. You just don't wanna...
It's also, there are those moments where you're not your best self, and she says, "Well, but you said this, and then you this," and you have to apologize. Say you're sorry.
Not if you have a boy.
Oh no! If you have a boy, you don't have to apologize for nothing.
You don't have to apologize for a boy. You go. Tomorrow's another day.
No, the girls are a different thing. I think it's also from the time she was small. It's I had a friend who said, if you pick them up, ask them. Ask you, can I pick you up? And they always say yes, but it gives them this possession of their own being, which is what they need. And it's not like, oh, please go, Uncle Mike. Come on, he's going. Go. She doesn't have to hug nobody. If you don't want to hug nobody, don't hug nobody. But it's a different thing. So that's the other thing. It's just like this whole time with COVID, it's been sort of this blessing just to have a 6 and 7-year-old to myself. Mm-hmm. To be able to hug a kid at that time in your life, it's a magic.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to say to that. That just kind of made me a little emotional, but I'm okay. I'm good because I have a kid.
About this. We've had some great ruckus moments, and then you have an incredible depth to you. This
is something that I'm sure you've been asked many times, French. People want to know how much of what you do when you're doing a sitcom, because we see you go, we see you run. How much of it is scripted? Yeah. And how much of it is it French? Just what you bring to the table.
It's a split thing. It depends on who you're working for. When we were on Third Rock, it was very much you could throw stuff against the wall, or you could do something in the middle of a take, and if it worked, everybody was happy, and if it didn't, they were like, maybe we'd go a different way. But you kind of could get it out there. There are some places that are more like with I have this recurring part on Mom, and that's working for Chuck Lorre, and Chuck is very writer centric, and so what Chuck wants is that you deliver the words that they really worked hard to make.
Right.
And so it's just a different gear. It's not like...
And you work for him a lot.
Yeah.
You work for him.
Yeah. He's a master.
I think you're the best thing on Mom. Dare I say that?
Yes.
Yes. I think you're hilarious on that show. It's just, I was looking for episodes and clips. I was like, where's French Stewart? I need him back on here.
It's fun. It's really fun. But it's also, that part is sort of a condiment where, it's to be sprinkled lightly here and there.
Right.
It's not, you're not gonna hang your hat on it. And all those, to be able to work with Allison Janney, she's a master. She's just a master. I think she's got more Emmys. She
got a lot.
She beat Ed Asner for the most Emmys ever.
Wow.
She's amazing.
Yeah.
And you just get to watch her. You get to just sit there and watch her.
Do you enjoy theater more than you like working on film?
I do. My favorite thing is to go into a 99-seat waiver theater and just do a small thing for a small group of people. Joe gets it. Joe's the same way. I know it. We and I, up until this point, I had done at least one every year since I was 19. This is the first year I haven't really done a play.
Well,
and I love it because it's, I've kind of written about it before, but it's something about walking into a small group of people, making something every night for a small group of people. And it feels personal, like a handwritten postcard. Like every now and then somebody will send you a postcard and you're like, oh, I didn't know we were still doing this, but it feels so personal.
How nice you took the time.
Or the hard line calls and you're like, oh, who's dead? No, everybody's okay.
You still have a hard line? I don't have a hard line
No, I got rid of my hard line, because it's haunted.
It's haunted.
Everybody's hard line is haunted.
Right.
But that's what I liked about it, is that it's a cave painting. It's something that they've done. It's storytelling from the beginning of time, but you can see them and you can see them breathing, and I love that about it.
You get that feeling back from them.
Yeah.
You trade it.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
That to me is God. That, like, trading energy with a person, that's it. That's all there is.
Did you say that's God?
That's God.
That's very nice.
You heard it here first.
I like that.
Yeah,
I
so all
like
you
that.
people can stop going to church.
Yeah, there you go.
And stop going seeing more plays.
Yeah,
That's
there's also something poetic in the fact that it's there one night and then it's gone the next.
Yeah, and that's the other thing, is there's no evidence of it. It's just, it sits in somebody's memory, and there are certain nights where you're like, oh, I'm glad there's no evidence of that, because I just
Yes.
I just effed that up.
Yeah, wow. Yeah.
But there are other nights where people years later will say, oh, I saw you in that thing and it was just, and my mother loved it, and it's indisputable because it's in their head. You gonna lawyer somebody's head?
Sure.
Well, you could.
Yeah.
I'm going to skip past a bunch of stuff and get right to something really quick, because our time is running short, and I hate that because I could speak to you forever. Stoneface. Tell us about Stoneface. Tell us about what it's like to
Your
write,
love for
to work
silent
with your
film.
wife's words, and to.
My wife is a master playwright. And at one point I told her, oh, I want to play Buster Keaton, but I'm too old to do the tricks now. And she said, oh, just play him in the drunk part. And I said, well, what do you mean? She's like, no, we'll figure it out. And so one year on my birthday, she said, I've got something planned for you. And she took me to Shutters, the hotel. And she said, we're just checking in for the night. And then she plopped a script down on my lap, and it just said Stoneface. And she said, that's your birthday present. It's for you. And I read it, and it was everything that I wanted. And so we did it for 50 shows at the Sacred Fools, and we built it, and it was really going well. And then Pasadena Playhouse came in and said, we want to do it,
I
but
saw
make
it there.
bigger. And then we made it bigger. And it was the most joyous thing in the world, working for my wife. We work well together. She's, when you're in theater, the playwright is really in charge. And I would say, I want more of this, I want more of that. And then ultimately she would say, well, okay, let's try it, let's do this, let's do that. But eventually we would always get back to what she had written, because it just took me longer to figure out
Right, yeah.
what it was. But it was just magical to be able to do that and to do that with your wife, and it's just a pleasure.
And you love Buster Keaton? Buster Keaton's your man?
Buster Keaton's my guy.
Buster Keaton's your guy?
He's just, I don't even know how you...
You so embodied that character when you were up there. There was one scene that I remember in particular, the table scene with the strings and the you recreated that famous
that
scene.
Whole thing with the bottles that are attached to...
Yes. Yeah. Wow. How about that?
It's hard. It's hard to do.
How about
They're
that?
like bottles that have to end up on strings in drawers, and you just do it. And some
I think we have a clip. No, we don't.
No
Sorry.
clips.
No clip.
And some nights
Wait,
it
it got
goes really
lost.
great, and some nights it goes bad. But even when it went bad, it becomes this game with the audience where they're waiting for you to get it right. So it was fun. You just take your time with it, and sometimes you give up and just go, man.
Because you completely embodied this man. You walked. You breathed him. Did you? Was there a preparation? Did you like we were in acting school? Did you?
I think the preparation for it would have been my divorce.
Okay, all
If
right.
I'm being honest, there was just a lot matching where it was like I wasn't at his level. Like he's the ultimate to me, but our paths went in a similar direction in a lot of ways, and so I was able to grab onto it, and we were able to give me just enough tricks that I could do, that I could sell it. But I don't know. It was just sort of an understanding of another person where you think, oh, I get you, or at this point, I've had
Right.
that, or I understand that.
Such
or,
a sad.
or I
ending,
was like
it?
too drinky during this stretch of my life, or whatever.
You brought a lifetime to it.
Yeah.
And it showed. And it showed in your performance.
Thank you,
Absolutely showed. in your
You've got
performance.
some stuff in the pipeline, right? You got some couple feature films that are
Yeah.
coming up, right?
Yeah, I do. There's some stuff in the pipeline. They're all the names are changing every day, so I don't even know how. But I'm gonna be back on Mom, and I'm gonna do that episode of Leverage, and then I've got this movie coming out, and I'm not sure what they've decided to call it yet, but it's Mean Girls in a Retirement Home.
Okay.
And so it's got
I'm there.
It's got a killer cast. It's got Ellen Burstyn.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
Wait, is that the
Anne Margaret.
Never Too Late?
Yeah. And Christopher Lloyd is in it.
Oh, look at this!
James
Wow.
Caan.
I'll be there.
Yeah.
Just all these older people. It's so funny. At one point, like James Caan is sort of like he's a grump.
He's a tough guy. Isn't he?
Yeah, he is. And he'd be grumping around. And at one point he was grumping up, and Anne Margaret goes, "Oh, James, you're a mess." And I dated Elvis. So you're like,
Nice.
you just sit in the transport van and shut up.
What are you going to do?
Yeah, just sit there and
You
listen.
can't stand up against that. Have cocktails.
So, French,
I do.
do you know that the internet is forever?
That the internet is forever.
What in the hell was Lady to Lady?
Oh, Lady to Lady. All right, Lady to Lady. They're fantastic. It's three ladies that came out of UCB, and they have basically they do a show where they bring you in for a podcast, and they just give you the business. They're fantastic. What do you got?
I just found this clip, and you're dancing, and there's just no context, and I don't know what the hell's going on.
Yeah, Lady to Lady. I mean, like
You're kind of strip teasing a little bit.
Oh yeah, there was one time that
Very
they
level.
took us. They took me, and we did the whole thing at a Sizzler in Glendale, and we would just go up and get food, then come back, and I got sort of hammered on Sizzler Chardonnay, and then my eye started to hurt because it was Sizzler Chardonnay. That's what they do. At one point, we went to one of those places where you paint cups, and we all just painted a bunch of cups. It always goes bad.
What about hooray pornography?
Oh, that was Busby Berkeley style song and dance for I think it was the Magicians.
Penn and Teller.
Penn and Teller.
Penn and Teller.
Yeah, and they were trying to get people out of their sweet spot, and so they had me do hooray, pornography, straight or gay
Yeah, you got a
pornography.
great voice, man.
It's like this whole thing. It's like, but it was a huge dance number.
Yeah.
And we did it at the Hilton where Elvis used to do all his shows.
Vanessa was in it as well.
No, that was the first Mrs. Stewart.
I thought it was
I
Vanessa.
told
That was-
you to be
I
careful with
thought
that.
it was Vanessa. I'm so very
It's okay.
sorry.
Yeah.
That's the funny thing. Like I married two different women. I talked to Catherine last week, but like I married two different women, both from Louisiana. My wife, her first husband was from Albuquerque. We grew up like a block away.
Wow.
Right area code, wrong
destined.
person.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's just
Well, you
mismatched.
tell Vanessa that I'm sorry that I messed that up because.
Oh, I will.
Do you get to Louisiana
Okay.
often?
I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I was just working there, but we go back. Like her family is, she's got family in New Orleans and in Baton Rouge, Prairieville, and then up in Monroe. So
Well,
I've
if
been
you're
out
ever
there a
in
lot.
Shreveport, stop by the Cub and tell them you know me.
Oh, I will.
You'll get a good seat.
Oh, don't think I won't.
Okay, let's go to our rapid fire questions.
Rapid-fire
Quick
questions.
answers to quick questions, all right?
Okay.
Don't linger.
I won't.
He might.
Or do, I don't care. Do you have any interest in the industry outside of acting?
No.
What profession would you do if not acting?
Teacher.
Dream role on stage.
It's a rapid fire question.
I know.
Very
That's the
rapid.
worst part of it. Is this not as rapid as you'd expected? I think I would like to do Virginia Woolf.
Oh,
No.
Do
nice.
George.
Yeah.
Nice.
Just get paraded.
It's just, yeah.
You and me both. We should do dueling Georges.
Oh, yeah.
Dueling Georges. What's your favorite show right now?
TV show.
Oh, my favorite TV show? Oh, you're going to hate me, but I like Southern Charm. I like to watch some absolute garbage
Oh, wow.
done by garbage people so I don't have to think about it too hard at all.
There you go. Who were you most intimidated to work with?
Faye Dunaway.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What'd you work in her with?
I did a mini series for Hallmark called Pandemic, which was about a pandemic,
What's I'm just saying.
and she was just scary as shit.
Really?
I don't know how to explain it.
There you
you know?
go.
She's great, though.
Who do you want to work with most?
Oh
That you haven't already, for crying out loud.
gosh, I'd like to work with John Cleese. Although I sort of worked with him once on Third Rock, but I just think he's
He's hysterical.
he's just a little
Kind of a bit
slow.
of a genius, actually.
Yeah, it really
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Really
He's
is.
one-eyed brand
I
of
don't
genius.
throw it around, but definitely.
What's been your favorite acting experience?
I would do this little two-hander play with Laurie Metcalf called Voice Lessons, and it's just I play straight man to Laurie Metcalf, but Laurie Metcalf to me that's the golden standard. I think she's just the best actor in the world.
Really, one
Nice.
of my favorites, actually.
It's
That
just-
play was great.
It's ridiculous.
It was
All
great.
right. Final question. Can you please give us a story that will get Joe fired?
Oh,
Just kidding. Just kidding. That's not our final question. You can get as soon as we turn off the camera. You can give that to us.
Wait, what? No.
So here's a real final question. Alec Baldwin once said on the Inside the Actor Studio, "I can't think of any business where you learn more about yourself than this business." What have you found out about yourself through your journey?
I think that largely I'm the same person now that I was when I was 6. But I've just learned to protect myself and not to care as much. And so I'm a happy 6-year-old, and I'm a strong 6-year-old. I'm a 6-year-old that doesn't take too much shit,
Right.
but I'm a 6-year-old, and I like that.
Nice.
good answer.
It is.
Good answer.
Now, to close this out, can you give us a go-go gadget?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd appreciate that. Thank you for watching. This has been French
Thank you,
Stewart.
French. Thanks
It's
for
been a
coming.
pleasure.
So appreciate
Will you
you.
close us out?
Go gadget, my pleasure.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Yeah.